Onion is one of the 30 agricultural produce that we have done. It's called the export certification value chain. We want to showcase onion. We can help you to export to whichever part of the country that you can, because that is our job. At the end of the day, they will say, oh, Nigeria has exported so many billions, and we are happy to be part of that success story. So whatever you are doing, please, let's put hands together so that we can do it even better than you are doing before. Increase your tonnage in export, ensure that whatever you export has a proper certificate, and then we can talk to the NPPO of that country. Here in Nigeria, you have only one NPPO, which is Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service. So once we know that you are sending onions to a particular country, we can do a letter to the NPPO there to let you know that, look, we have structured our onion business and they're bringing so much quantities into the country, this and that and that. You should ensure you put an eye to ensure that these things are done properly. And if for any reason the onion has an issue there, we know that we have somebody, one person there, either in Ghana or Cote d'Ivoire, representing his country, and he can call us. Once he calls us and says, okay, I have this challenge, this document is not this, you didn't stamp, you didn't do that, we can let him know. And then respond immediately so that they can release your goods. It's only when there is no proper communication between NPP of Nigeria, which is the Nigeria Cultural Quarantine Service, and the NPP of that country, is like your country does not recognize you. So you don't have somebody to cry to, and you don't have somebody that can stand for you. Because if they do anything that is not proper according to the law, we'll engage them directly. If they refuse to respond to us, we can report them to WTO. We, the quarantine service of this country, has the right to report any other country to WTO. And WTO will call us and call them to order, and we'll resolve the matter. So that is the safety valve that you have as an association if you are dealing directly with quarantine and we have a good understanding with ourselves. For the onion is a sensitive commodity in the sense that we need to be very, very careful with harvest losses. Storage of onion is quite a challenge. If the weather is too humid, it can go bad. If the weather is too dry, it will start shrinking. And so you need to balance that issue. So concerning the storage, we may have to work closely with you people so that we devise a proper way of storing it in a way that it will not get bad and you can dispose of it quickly. And even during haulage, we may have to design a different way of carrying onions. Because the onions on top will be taking fresh air when you're traveling. But how about that first bag that is at the bottom of the trailer? Apart from the weight of maybe 5, 6 bags that are pressing it, there's no air flowing. So we may need to sit down with you people and look at it. Then we calculate how much a trailer can carry if you load it like that. Then you calculate how much damage you have when you get there. Then you deduct that one. Then calculate if you carry less by, say, 10 bags, lesser, so that you can have more room with pallets and whatever. If that will allow more onions to get there safely, then you calculate, okay, instead of taking, like, say, 600 bags, you are now taking 550 bags. If you take 600 bags, this is the loss you incur. If you take 550 bags, the loss is minimal. So when you compare the two, then we'll now see which one to take. Because the 50 bags, by example that I'm saying, if it's lost, it's lost.
Sure.
So why don't you save it, make more money out of it, and do so? But we have to sit down together, look at the pros and cons, and then we can advise each other so that we devise a better way of transporting less, but earn more money than to transport plenty and lose some at the market. Because those ones that are bad, they'll price it. They may not even price at all. It could be completely damaged, or they'll say, no, these ones are bad. we're only going to pay you half the price of a full bag. So we'll look at that one. I'm happy we are looking at adding value to the onions. There are some countries overseas that they even prefer you to sell them powdered onion. I know about powdered onions. My wife has done powdered onion in the house before, and it's good. Strong flavor. So probably instead of carrying one truckload, you can carry a compressed powder of about maybe half a kilo or 2 kilos or 3 kilos, and you still fetch you the same amount of money. So we'll look at that. So that when there's glut, when the season you're producing plenty, half of it you can dry it, make some money out of it, while you can sell the fresh ones. We can sit down together and look at that option. Then for international trade, we are going to look at other options. Like the quarantine service is trying to help poultry farmers in developing liquid egg and powdered egg. Egg can be made into powder. And egg can be sold as liquid, just like you sell a yogurt inside container. Then egg can be sold with the shell. That's the one we're very much used to. So we can do something like onions as well. Now we know we can blend onion with ginger. We can blend onion with clove. You can blend onion with maybe turmeric or something. Good. And then we can do premium sales. Maybe onions, you just put just about 5% or 10% of ginger. The other we can add 5 or 10% of clover. It becomes something different and extra. So we can sit down together, try those things in the lab. Our women will try it. When we eat it, if it's tasty, then we can begin to market it. All right? Those are some things that I think we can look at it instead of just depending on whole onion all the time. You can make money with whole onion, look at derivatives of onion, look at additives of onion, and then you can expand avenues for making extra money. You talked about aggregating produce to make a truck, which is fine. All we need to do is to sit down with you people, maybe reorganize it. Okay, if you form cooperatives or whatever group that you have that is selling, you are transporting the onion, we don't have any problem with that. What we want to know is that you have identified those packs and then we have done the inspection. If there's any reason where there's an interception there between the time you exported it from Nigeria up to maybe Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, or Senegal, if there's any issue there, we want to know which bag was involved. If we know which bag was involved based on the labeling, then we can come to the individual supplier. Hey, my brother, is it Halilu or Abdurazak or Sani or Bello? We notice something. Maybe we notice an insect. Maybe at that point the insect is still small. By the time it's transported, the insect has become bigger and we can now see it. We now say, okay, this is what we found out. Let's go back to your farm. And then we begin to check critically that particular farm and take care of that insect so that it does not spoil the business of the others. And that's why it's important for us to work closely with you people. You people tell us the clusters that you have, how you are operating, then we can sit down and see how we can post officers to your place at the point of planting and this and that. One critical issue that we need to look at is the issue of seeds. I understand last year, 2024, somebody brought some seeds from Algeria, and those seeds were terribly bad. They were smuggled. We did not give them any phyto certificate to bring those seeds. In fact, we were not even aware of the seeds until it started causing damage. So we would want you to